Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Folge 76 von Is My Heart at Wings und der 23. und letzten Folge auf Kotoris Route. Ja, endlich. Ja, in der letzten Folge sind ja schon all die wichtigen Dinge passiert. Kotori ist zurück zum Gleiter, sie sind zusammen geflogen, haben die Morning Glory überflogen, alle waren glücklich, Tobioka ist vorbeigekommen und konnte nichts machen, cool. Ja, schauen wir uns mal die Aftermath an.
Asa-chan, could you hold this? Okay. Here it goes. 1, 2. Wow. Whoosh. I spread the white sheet and hung it on the clothesline. Then I straightened it and left it to dry. Working hard as always, eh? Oh, it's you, Ageha. Hello, Ageha-senpai. Hello. Yo! Why did you come here? Man, if I stayed home, I'd get dragged into helping out in the shop, so I escaped. Is that okay? Your mom will kick your ass again. It's fine. I told her I went to do homework with you guys. I don't know why, but when I'm home and everyone else is at school, time seems to go so slowly. It's good for me, though. I managed to deal with all that piled up dormitory work. It's a certain day of September. Summer vacation is already over and second semester has begun. However, we didn't go to school. As punishment for breaking the gym storeroom lock to take back the glider, all members of the soaring club were suspended from school. It's like we became delinquents. It's kinda exciting. Why I'm suspended too? I'm not a member. Excluding Yodo-chan, other people who helped the soaring club back then weren't punished at all. Honestly, I thought it was a little anticlimactic. We were prepared for a more severe punishment. Even though we got quite a lot of homework, we were spending our suspension period leisurely, thinking of it as an extension of summer vacation. Have you heard from Kotori? She called yesterday. She seems to be doing fine. I see. Seems like she's comfortable at home after all. Well, yeah, seems like she's spending some quality family time right now. Hey, let's do homework together. We'll join too. I already finished it, but I guess I'll tag along since it's hot here. Alright, I have to hang the rest of the sheets to dry before the... So wait a minute. Alrighty. Pure white sheets shone under the clear blue sky. On that day, we flew above the morning glory. When I look up at the sky like this, it was hard for me to believe that spectacle really happened. A passage of clouds stretched across the firmament. We soared in a glider through that miraculous place. In the end, the passage of clouds melted away in the rays of the rising sun and vanished like an illusion. We watched that sky until the very end and then returned to the runway. Welcome back, Kotori-senpai. Aoi-senpai. Welcome back, guys. We're back, Asa, Yodu, everyone. A crowd of people had been waiting on the runway for our return. That was wonderful. I was so touched. Me too. That was an amazing sight. Yuka-san was moved to tears. It was so beautiful. Everyone gathered around the cockpit. I got out first and pushed over Kotori's wheelchair that had been brought for us by someone. Warte, wie sind sie gelandet? Sie sind ja nicht beim Runway. Oh well. Meanwhile, Ageha helped Kotori unfasten her seatbelt and get out. Well done. Thanks. After exchanging typical greetings, they both laughed. You did it. Yay. They high-fived. Oh, Nee, you are so cool. Yo, so you came too, Hotaru? Wow, that sure was amazing. I got goosebumps. Thanks. Next time, take us too. Yeah, I want to try flying. Okay, anytime. Thanks for showing me that, Minase-kun. Akari-san. My decision to go against the teachers and improve your club was correct. I'm glad we could prove you were correct. Everyone gathered around us wanting to say something. I saw Anchan at the edge of the crowd. Anchan! I waved my hand at him and he sheepishly entered the crowd surrounding us. Anchan's praise made me blush a little. What? Yeah, of course. It was great, Aoi. After being complimented, I could feel myself begin to blush. Thanks. Thanks? For all of us. Saying that, he patted me on the head. Hey, I'm not a kid. Huh, sorry. It's just a bad habit. Oh, come on, Anchan. There were also a lot of people I'd never seen before. They kept coming and saying how amazing and touching it was. Kotori and I were overjoyed to be able to share this incredible moment with so many people. And when the crowd's excitement had subsided a little... Kotori. Dad. Her father and Hibari-san walked over to her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said your serious wish to fly was a mere hobby. Kotori's father gave her a deep apologetic bow. Dad. Hibari and I were watching you fly, and we saw that beautiful sky. There was a faint spark of excitement in his eyes. It was the same spark as all the people gathered here had. I made you tell a lie again. No, you didn't. You were just thinking of me when you said that. Her father shook his head. I was scared of seeing you hurt again, but that's not the same thing as caring about you. Instead of supporting you when you were doing your best, I was trying to lock you away in a cage. I'm sorry. Kotori stared fixedly at her sincerely apologizing father. I'm also sorry for keeping such an important thing from you, even though I knew how much you worried about me. It's alright. It's our fault you did that. You can already fly with your own wings, and yet I refuse to admit that. As she heard her father's words, her eyes welled up with tears, but Kotori resisted the urge to cry and smiled instead. Come on, let's go home. Huh? Well, Mom is waiting, right? I want to calm her down as soon as possible. Are you sure? Just for summer vacation. Yeah, that'd make her very happy. I'll go get the car. Das heißt, einfach akzeptiert, dass sie komplett da bleibt? Okay. He rushed off to bring the car. He was so happy that he nearly tumbled over a stone as he ran. I'm sorry for making you worry too, One-chan. No, it's not a big deal. It's okay as long as you're fine. So how was it? You were watching, right? Yeah, it was great. As expected from my Kotori-chan. Hehehe. I was a little afraid though. You get used to it. Oh yeah, I'll let you ride in the back next time. Oh boy. What's the rede for next time? Okay. Kotori's whole face beamed with joy while Hibari-san's smile was twitching. I'll go talk with Dad a little. When Hibari-san walked away, Kotori started looking around restlessly, searching for someone. What's the matter? There she is. Kotori quickly moved her wheelchair towards her. Amane-chan. Yo, Kotori. Did you see it? Yeah, I did. It was too high though, so I didn't see much. We flew above the morning glory. Yeah. It was really beautiful. I wish I could show it to you too. Nah, I'm good. Just the thought of looking down from above the clouds makes me shudder. Why? Wasn't that your dream? Not mine. It was Izuka's dream. Besides, it already came true. You made it come true. Because you took the glide, I was supposed to fly with Izuka all the way to that place. Kotori timidly looked up at me. She seemed to ask, what does that mean? When I nodded and smiled in return, Kotori grinned herself. Then I guess it's fine. Yeah, thanks Kotori. Aoi-kun. As Amane-senpai smiled, Kotori beamed with her whole face. Hey, Aoi. Yeah? I'm going to return to Tokyo for a little bit. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let your parents spoil you for a while. Yeah, I will. You can't cheat on me even if you're lonely. I won't. What's the matter, Dad? Before we knew it, Kotori herself was made a place where she belongs. Oh well, all the people here in Kasegouda are kind and good people. Yeah, we probably have no choice but to become stronger. As a parent who watches over her, I can tell that her wings are far too big for her to be locked in a small cage. That's right. I don't want to be stuck with nothing but regret forever. We need to move on. Yeah. Dad, Oni-chan, come on, let's go home. That's right, let's go. Yeah. With that, Kotori got into the car and drove off towards her home. However, since her suspension from school was announced on the last day of summer vacation, she stayed at home throughout it. And as the days passed... Get up, Kotori, breakfast is done already. Hey, Kotori. Good morning. What time is it? 7:42. What? Breakfast ready, so get changed and come here already. Okay. Time to eat. Ist das jetzt doch wieder ein Schultag? Fully awake, Kotori stuffed her cheeks with breakfast. Hat sie eine Schuluniform an? Hatte sie jemals eine Schuluniform an? Das kommt mir gerade wieder völlig neu vor. Here, Hat. Quack, quack. She was sharing her meal with Hat. Hey, don't feed vegetables you don't like to have. That's just because we're in a hurry. Why did you oversleep? Didn't you set your alarm clock? When I thought of going to school after such a long time, got kinda excited and couldn't sleep last night. When she finally did fall asleep, she was sleeping like a log and didn't hear the alarm. Today our suspension from school was over. For us it was the end of an extra long summer vacation and the belated first day of the second semester. Good morning, Kotori-senpai. Good morning, Habane-senpai. Hello, twins. You look alike as always. Did you oversleep? That's unusual. Seems like my internal clock is all messed up. We have lost a lot of credit due to suspension. This is no joke. Your hair's a little messed up. When I pointed this out as she was eating and talking, with bowl and chopsticks still in her hand, she leaned her hair toward me. Jeez, you're hopeless. I fetched a brush from the bathroom and I started combing Kotori's hair. Hey, your hair feels really nice. Hehe, of course. I'm proud of my silky hair. Ouch, wait, it got tangled. Sorry. Come on, be careful. You wouldn't like it if my hair got split ends, right? Yeah, that'd be a big deal. They're all over themselves without holding back as always. That fills me with murderous intent first thing in the morning. Hey, I think it's nice. I'm a little jealous though. Thanks for the food. I'll clean up, so go get ready. We don't have time to spare. Roger. As we went out of the entrance, I got behind Kotori's wheelchair. We're in a hurry, so hold on tight. Let's fly. Please wait, senpai. And they're still as rash as always. Those two have too much energy. Okay. When we showed up at school after such a long while, we were greeted like triumphant returning heroes. And then everyone clapped. It's the soaring club. Habane-san and everybody came back. What's the matter? We saw the pictures. It was so beautiful. Haben Sie Bilder gemacht? I wish you had called us too. The entire class had gathered around us. A moment later, people from other classes joined in, forming a large crowd and making quite a racket. Morning, you two. Ageha, what's going on? Seems like we became a hot topic while we were suspended. Apparently there were some members of the school newspaper club who were among the people who came to watch us on that day. Turns out going against Tobioka-sensei and getting suspended made for fresh and exciting news. Who would have thought? You rarely see students getting suspended at our school. It's not a school what delinquents go to. Almost everyone enjoys their school life here. However, Tobioka's hatred for us was well known. That's why having our own way and getting suspended was passed around like a heroic tale. I guess our time has finally come. Don't get too cocky. Getting suspended isn't something to be proud of. I know, it's just the mood. By the way, club president, thanks to all this uproar, we're getting tons of new membership applicants. What? Kotori's eyes sparkled. What should we do? Should we let them join? That's fine. However, if they're half-hearted about it, they're out. Ho ho, which means? The qualification will depend on whether they're in love with this guy or not. It's unfortunate, but I won't recognize people who aren't our comrades. You're the only one who feels that way. That's right, don't lump us together like this, it's embarrassing. What? You aren't in love with this guy? Setting Kotori's embarrassing talk aside, the Soaring Club is in a delicate position right now. It goes without saying that Tobioka has been making moves to get the Soaring Club to lose its status. Originally, it was supposed to have gone smoothly. However, the situation has changed a little. The Morning Glory was seen from every place in Kasegauda and made it to the local news. It wasn't like 27 years ago where the internet and digital cameras weren't as widespread. A number of videos and pictures taken by viewers even ended up shown on the news. They talked about how some students who had flown over that strange cloud in a homemade glider. How about that? While we were suspended, the local media asked the school for an interview. That's how the principal and the board of directors had learned about our club activities in detail. It said that the board chairman in particular, aka Asachan and Yoda-chan's grandfather, held our actions in high regard, so the status revocation was put on hold. There were also suggestions to invite experts from outside the school or find some ways to put more effort into that field. Apparently it was linked with the preparations to expand Keifu Academy to aerospace engineering and aviation studies. Yeah sure, just your regular high school I guess. It wasn't just the teachers. The students who came to watch us that day started up a petition to keep the club from losing its status. Akari-san was among them. She presented a detailed report on our activities and the fruition during the flight that day. We had no idea how she managed to collect all that info, but it was very reassuring to have her on our side. Because of that, we were in such a delicate position right now, but now that we have cleared our grand objective, flying above the Morning Glory, and while we haven't found a new one yet, all that fuss seemed like somebody else's problem. Well, I guess it'll be fine to get some new members, as long as they're really interested. Yeah, from now on we won't have to work as hard as we used to. A laid-back club where we just enjoy soaring should be fine, right? Of course, that's only if the club will still exist. It's after school now. As we were chatting like this and walking down the hall to leave, we saw a familiar face in front of the elevator. Ah, Amane-chan. Yo, guys. Hello. Amane-senpai and Akari-san were talking about something. What are you doing, Amane-chan? Wrong, Kotori. It's not Amane-chan, it's Mochizuki-sensei. Ich find's immer noch super, jedes Mal, ich freue mich da jedes Mal drüber. Special lectures on the development project of the new type of windmill started today. Ah, it's that. Are you attending those, Akari-san? Yeah. The number of participants was very limited and I heard the acceptance rate was pretty low, though as one would expect, Akari-san got in. Amane-chan has become pretty self-important. Is this one word? Self-important? You're one to talk. Akari-san, I heard about the petition. Thank you for your support. I didn't do anything to be thanked for, I'm just doing what I think is right, that's all. Disbanding a club that accomplished so much would be nothing but a loss for Keifu Academy. Hearing Akari-san's words, Kotori proudly stuck her nose in the air. Everyone had been praising her so much today that she got quite cocky. Amane-chan, you can stay as our advisor. I want to keep flying with you. Sorry, but I'll pass. She bluntly shot on Kotori's proposal. Why? I've had enough of flying, oof. Finde ich immer noch sad. Besides, I'm more or less an adult now. I can't neglect my responsibilities. Aber December took responsibility for Kotori's accident, okay. Although that only meant resigning from a position as soaring club advisor, okay. We felt a little sad, but it was probably for the best. Thanks to this, Senpai narrowly avoided the punishment for stealing the glider. Oh, I'll be sad. But if you guys keep flying, I'll plan to drop by to watch from time to time. Doing stuff with you guys is pretty fun. Senpai said this so honestly that our eyes instinctively sparkled. Akari-san looked at us with a hint of envy. See ya, guys. Goodbye, Senpai. See you later, Mochizuki-sensei. Goodbye. Das Chapter ist jetzt bei 2,25 Stunden und es ist nach 1 Uhr nachts. Ich würde so ganz gerne schlafen. Könnt ihr bitte die Route beenden? We're back. After school, we returned directly to the dormitory. Quack, quack. Zugegebenermaßen, ich hätte nicht um 23 Uhr anfangen sollen aufzunehmen. Vor allem, wo ich wusste, dass es wahrscheinlich dieses Mal endet. Aber boah, dass es so lange wird wieder. Uff. I'm home, Hat. I'll get you a snack right away. Quack. Kotori headed off to the dining hall to get Hat's food. Seems like we're the first ones back. While we were suspended, we noticed that the other boys tend to drop by various places on the way home or stay longer at clubs, so usually there's nobody here around this time. I returned to my room, put down my bag, and started changing out of my school uniform. It sure was hot for September. I guess I'll change my t-shirt too. I have a bad feeling. Before I noticed, Kotori was peeking through a gap in my door. Hey, when did you turn into... And third French word. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of looking. If that kind of excuse was enough to let it slide, Japan would become a pervert's paradise. It sure is boring without the club. Saying this, Kotori started rummaging through my bookshelf. That's because club activities were eating up almost all of our free time this year. I didn't realize how busy it kept us until it was suddenly gone. However, it was time well spent. While we were talking, I resumed changing. Just the t-shirt for now. Oh boy. What? Kotori was looking at my naked upper body. Oh boy. Well, haven't you got more muscular? Have I? Though I responded in that way, I was a little happy to hear that. Actually, while we've been suspended from school, I started cycling again. Really? How does she not know? Sie war bei ihren Eltern, ja, ne? The day I chased after you made me really overdo it though. My knees started hurting again. Also hat er erstmal angefangen wieder zu cyclen. Good job, dude. Kotori made an extremely worried face. So I went to the hospital and got it checked out. They said it wasn't anything to worry about. Quite the contrary. They told me I can ride a bicycle again as long as I don't overdo it. Okay, cool. I was told I'd be fine as long as I didn't race. So to make up for my lack of exercise, I started going for little rides. Huh. There's really nothing else to do. We're waiting for the school's decision regarding the soaring club, and the broken winch is still being repaired. Kotori gazed at the bicycle in the corner of my room with a face that didn't tell whether she was actually interested or not. How was it at home? So, I guess. I still hadn't heard the details about the time she spent at home. Kotori returned here yesterday late at night. This was the first time we've been all by ourselves since she came back. How's your mother doing? She's perfectly fine now. I was worried when I heard she collapsed, but my mother does tend to overreact a bit. In less than an hour after she saw me, she was back up on her feet and cooking. Really now, she has no idea how much I was worried. But for the sake of her mother, Kotori made a hard decision to quit school and return home. Well, that's because she was so worried about you, right? But then what about the glider? I told her everything. And after that she collapsed again. Okay, cool. Whoa. But Dad and Hibadine backed me up and we somehow managed to convince her. Well, maybe not entirely. It'll just take a bit more time. Yep. Considering how she sounds, I doubt she'll be so easily persuaded. The only thing to do is to keep being persistent. Did she let you stay here? Yep, that went well. My dad actually said that it would be better to do so. Wow. Even though he wanted to take her back so badly. Seeing such a miraculous spectacle as the morning glory must have cleansed his mind. What she said sounded seriously off to me. Well, that could be part of a reason too. Such a sight can move people to the bottom of their hearts. But in actuality, seeing his daughter doing her best right before his eyes must have played a far greater role here. That's what I think, at least. But in exchange, I have to go home every now and then, and my parents are going to visit me here every once in a while too. I see. Well, that's fine. It's not that far away, so visiting by car shouldn't be a problem. Sagen die Leute, die erstmal durch die Nacht durchfahren wollten, nach Tokyo? Or whatever. Yeah. And, you know, my father praised you. Praised me? She nodded. He said you're a very promising young man. A very promising young man. Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of embarrassing. My mother also said she wants to meet you. Will you come with me next time? Yeah, sure. I'm sure she'll be pleased. You're tall and handsome, after all. He's tall and very generic looking, you mean? Ooh. Meeting her mother, huh? Even though there's no deeper meaning to that meeting, it still makes me nervous. On that day when you were riding that bicycle, I noticed it for the first time. You were super handsome. I was mesmerized. You seemed like my prince. I fell in love with you all over again. Kotori turned beet red and fidgeted bashfully. You were so awesome that I even saw you in a dream recently. Naked. Really, what kind of dream was that? Oh boy, don't tell me. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's a secret. What, you can tell me? No way, company secret. What company? The horny company. Kotori came close and gazed at me fixedly. I still can't believe that such a good-looking guy is my boyfriend. I wonder if it's not some kind of mistake. What kind of mistake could that be? Do you still doubt my feelings? Then did you dream about me while we were apart? You didn't. You don't love me after all. I did dream about you. Then why didn't you reply right away? You actually aren't deeply in love with me, are you? No, that's because that dream... Its contents are a bit hard to say to the person in question. It was mostly in a perverted area. However, Kotori looked up at me uneasily with teary eyes. Did you really have one? Yes, I did, seriously. What kind of dream? What kind of dream? It was... I leaned over to meet Kotori's eyes and... I kissed her. This kind of dream. Just that? Okay. Hey, did you by any chance not get it? I don't get it. Classic. I embraced her. Ah. Oh, yeah. Kotori hugged me back. I lifted her up. And then... yeah. I laid her on my bed. Kotori looked up at me with her slightly moist eyes. Oh fuck's sake, es ist 1:30, ich will schlafen. I got on the bed too and positioned myself over her. It was this kind of dream. A spicy dream. Yes, very spicy. It went further than this though. What should we do? Kotori looked at me as if she wanted to say my question was unfair. Then she looked away sulkily and muttered, "Tell me what was next." Well, if you insist. She glared at me like I was a bully. It was quite cute. I gave her a slightly gentler kiss than usual. As our lips overlapped, I started unbuttoning her blouse.
Ja, guess what? Dasselbe wie immer, sie hatten Sex. Ich skippe zu danach.
Quack, quack. Had cheerfully packed the garden grass. Here you go ahead. Take that.
Kotori turned the hose towards him and sprayed him with water.
Quack, quack. Seems like he likes it. When we were done having sex, asserting our love for each other, we took a quick shower. Then we went outside along with Hat. Even though there wasn't anyone else here and we haven't seen each other for so long, we went a bit too far. Nein, ich mache jetzt Schluss. Now that it's over and I came to my senses, I'm really glad nobody returned home while we were at it. What's wrong? You seemed out of it for a moment. Nah, I just thought we should be more careful. Well, yeah, today was a bit dangerous, but it was really great. She blushed as she said that. You really came a lot. I can still feel it inside my stomach. Sorry, that's because we haven't seen each other in over a week. What if we didn't meet for a month? What would happen then? You might explode and die. Yeah, it actually seems quite possible. Alright. I see, that's troubling. She muttered something to herself, and then she looked up at me fixedly. What? Nothing, I just thought you were cool. Ah yes, I too think guys who explode and die are cool. I guess when you're having sex you fall more and more in love with your partner. Seems so. What we did was an act of love in the end. You show your love and feel the love of your partner, and as those feelings become one, they get even stronger, or something like that. Okay. I sat down next to Kotori. Then we both looked up at the leisurely drifting clouds in the clear sky. I want to fly. Yeah. Whenever I look up at the sky, I'm itching to soar. Especially when I'm with Kotori. Hey Aoi, thanks for coming for me back then. Oh yeah. I thought that you hadn't noticed my sign. The SOS sign she had sent, the perfectly ordinary paper airplane. I didn't get it at first, but then I remembered the first time we met. Honestly, I wasn't planning to send such a sign, but before I realized it, I folded the paper airplane and gave it to Oni-chan. Asking me for help would have been the same as declaring that she had chosen flying over her family. There's no way she could have done that. Even so, she sent me the feelings she couldn't abandon in the form of a paper airplane. I was able to fly to the morning glory thanks to you realizing that. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here right now. And I probably wouldn't have been able to look at the sky anymore. Why? That's the one thing she said she could still do. I'm sure that every time I would have looked at that faraway sky, it would have reminded me that I can't fly myself. So I think I would have stopped looking up sooner or later. But now that I flew, I know I can do it myself. But it may be a little harder for me than other normal people, but still. You took it back. Your future. Yeah. At some point, Kotori had begun looking straight up at the highest part of the sky. I felt it was always higher than where I was looking. I followed her gaze and sat at the same place. I have to thank her too. You know, actually, Kotori mumbled all of a sudden. There's one more thing that I want to talk to you about. Surgery! Kotori's timid expression made me brace myself unconsciously. Did something happen while you were at home? What was it? Seems like we found it. What? A hospital where they could do the surgery. Huh? At first I didn't know what she was talking about. But when I realized a moment later, I couldn't believe it. By surgery, you mean... I turned my glance at Kotori's legs. She nodded. Then she reached out her hand to me. When I clutched it, it was trembling slightly. Are you scared? Kotori nodded. If it fails, my chance for recovery will be gone. Wenn du es nicht versuchst, ist das dasselbe effektiv. If that possibility to recover disappeared, it would mean losing all hope. Das sind so Dinge, für die bin ich zu pragmatisch, schätze ich. So it's better to leave it as it is and keep that small chance, even if it's only deceiving yourself. Yeah, I couldn't do that. It's okay, I'll stick with you. Nothing will change, even if it's not a success. But Kotori shook her head. That's impossible. Why? Because it's in America. Huh? To undergo the surgery, I'll have to go to America. I see. For a moment I thought about going with her, but I'm scared, but I'll do my best. she said anxiously while looking at me with her teary eyes. Because I want to go on a date and hold hands with you. Almost shaken by the sudden news, I hid that and firmly grasped Kotori's trembling hand. Of course, the surgery couldn't be performed right away. Kotori's condition wasn't urgent, and since it was a famous doctor, they had to wait for an appointment. In the meantime, Kotori got her passport and temporary school leave sorted out. She went to America 2 months later. Well, the result was that the surgery was a success. Kotori regained the feeling in her legs. Knowing the chance of success, it was nothing short of a miracle. However, the real challenge was only just beginning. What awaited her after returning home were days of hard rehabilitation. She once again felt the bitter taste of being unable to do things she could once do. However, Habane Kotori isn't a girl who gets discouraged that easily. After months of rehabilitation, she recovered enough to stand up using crutches. During that time, we became 4th-year students and new freshmen enrolled at Keifu Academy. Then when summer of that year was about to start, today was our first flight in a long while. Neue Musik. When I arrived at the runway, someone was already waiting there. Standing there on crutches, she looked more like a woman than a girl. When a sudden gust of wind fluttered her long hair, she brushed them behind her ear. The gesture suited her a lot. But her eyes were still those of a child. Impatient sparks twinkled in her pupils as she gazed at the distant horizon. I want to fly right now. I could almost hear her saying that. Oh, Hey, you're already here. Yeah, I thought I'd check the conditions. They seem pretty good. Yep, a really nice wind is blowing. Some good thermals should appear too. Perfect conditions for a flight. Yeah. The period just before summer was when the most thermals appeared. A clear day like today is the best for flying. You're going to fly today, right? Yeah. I've got to teach those freshmen what flying really is. Don't go too far with that romantic talk, it's annoying. No way, why? Well, you see, there's almost nobody there who could say they are in love with the sky like you. Kids these days. They're 3 years younger than us, and you can already feel the generation gap. We sure are getting old. You're too young to say that. I'm older than you and I'm not saying that. She said jokingly, but 2 years did pass already since we first met. A lot has happened during that time. There were so many things that it was hard to believe it had only been 2 years. We have to teach them too, of our burning passion, yearning for the sky. Yeah, that's right. The dream inherited from Amane-senpai. The year we had spent earnestly chasing after that goal was an irreplaceable time for us. One of those dreams had been realized. However, the sky we admired was stretching much higher, almost endlessly. Oh yeah, Amane-senpai said she'd come by today to watch. Really? Alright, we've got to show her something good. The grass waved as the wind blew over the runway. That wind coming from the lake was unique to Kazegauda. Our wings received the force to fly. Runway is clear. The winch is prepared. We're ready too. Okay, go Kotori. Alright, launch. Ja, die Windmühlen mit ihren 10 Frames. We flew. Underneath the vast blue sky, spreading our huge white wings. Okay, cool. Das war Kotoris Route. Und ja. Keine Ahnung, ob jetzt noch was kommt. Also theoretisch sind noch Amanes und AGHs Route übrig, aber ich weiß nicht, ob die jemand sehen will. Von daher, ich gehe momentan davon aus, ich werde sie irgendwann alleine spielen. Da aufnehmen und vielleicht irgendwie ein Best-of machen oder so nur. Ja, das war's von mir soweit. Bis nächstes Mal.